Hey guys, how are you? This is the Patrick 254 coming to you live today. It's August 31st and it's a beautiful day in Africa, in Kenya, everywhere. We just announced that there's going to be El Nino starting October, and personally I love the rain, so that's a good thing. But mark you, and this is not becoming a prophet of doom, there will be houses drenched in floods, there will be bridges carried away, there will be people who will die as a result of floods. There will be, you know, all the problems that can come out of floods will come. There will be starvation because food will have been swept away by floods. We suffered drought some not so long ago, sorry. Well, it's our curse. The dams that were supposed to have been built, remember the Kimware and Aurora dams that may be stolen or not stolen. The government should do it as a private and public partnership. Then they are not supposed to be a public and private partnership. All that will come into play, and well, kita sisi wote pamoja. But it's a beautiful day. I love it. I love the rain, and I'm hoping everything will be better. It's even a beautifuler day because of the coup in Gabon. Wow. So, Gabon, Central African country. Hapo kwa kona hapo, the corner, Equatorial Guinea, then Gabon. So, the country of Gabon has had 3 presidents, Leon Ba, Ali Bongo, and Omar Bongo. So, the tragedy of this country is that there are 3 million people, 2.3 in 2020 or something like that. Let's just say 3 million, because in Africa no one really knows how to count, because at an elections people don't know how to count the results. So Omar Bongo was deposed as a president by the army. Remember, this country has had 3 presidents, 2 of them from that one family. That one family took presidency long ago. Ali Bongo was president since the 60s until he died in 2009. Just imagine if Daniel Rotich Arap Moi took presidency in 1978 and ruled all the way, did not even let an election come in, ruled until his death. Then his son takes over. So anyway, I don't want to attack anyone. This is a YouTube channel about history, so let's talk about history. Strong families have been set up in this continent to exploit the people. The country of Gabon has oil in abundance, and a small population. It has access to the Pacific Ocean. What that means is, because of the richness of oil in that corner of Africa, they are the gateway of European companies to go and drill offshore. Offshore means in the ocean. People with me? Offshore means in the ocean. So drilling oil onshore has so much problems and so many issues. So you have to deal with the people, you have to pay for their land, you have to make sure the roads don't come and intersect where you are. If the roads were there, if the city was there, you have to relocate it. If people are getting their food and planting their food on that land, you have to pay them, because it's such an inconvenience to pay people. So offshore has always been a better option. Look at what Angola did. Oh my God. Anyway, problems everywhere. So the country has always had oil, and France was a colonizer of that country. What they did, they decided, let's make a deal with this guy. This guy, whatever problems he has, whatever issues he has, whatever excesses he has, let us feed into them, provided he gives us the oil contracts. And the French were given the oil contract. The oil contracts in Gabon belong to a company called ELF. I don't know what the name is, but it's a French company. So, and most of these oil companies are owned partly by the government of the country they come from. Like BP belongs to America, Standard Oil. BP belongs to Britain. I'm sorry. Standard Oil, America, Texas. The oil company that belongs to the Bushes, I think Texas Oil. I don't know whether it's the one that is in Kenya, but anyway, I digress. I didn't know about that. the father of Omar Bongo, Ali Bongo, used the country as his own private pocket. He took all the money. At some point, he was using the money, he had so much money and control of it. At some point, he used to pay off any political opponent. Sometimes, at some point in the 90s, in Gabon, it was the most lucrative business to open up a political party and say you are running against the government. If you say that, the president comes to you and tells you how much money do you need. You need 10 million, 20 million, 300 million. Take all the money you need. Just shut up. Don't speak. That's what he did. And as a result, he had complete power. After working his political maneuvering and taking over all the power, enabled by the French, he became the wealthiest politician in Africa. Let's just settle. Let that just settle in. Yeah? And remember, these are the times of Mobutu Sese Seko of Congo. Some other madman who had wealth from here to Timbuktu. Timbuktu being a real place in Africa, but this is just a saying that comes from the British people. Because they didn't know what Timbuktu was. But we know where it was, so it was just destroyed. But anyway, Ali Bongo was the wealthiest man in Africa. Right now, the amount of wealth and resources, the amount of assets that he owns in Europe, specifically France, very, very critical. I wonder why when a Kenyan politician becomes wealthy, you always find their wealth in Britain, in London, in Chelsea, in, one of those cities that belong or are prominent in their former colonial masters. Any president in Africa who is wealthy or stealing, you'll find their wealth mostly concentrated in this colonial master's paradise. Like Ali Bongo, Omar Bongo, you'll find their wealth is in Paris. The wealth of Mobutu Sese Seko, you'll find them mostly Belgium. How? Why? Paul Biya, most of his wealth you'll find it in France. Very, very, very interesting. The guy, Sani Abacha, the guy from Nigeria, president of Nigeria for a long time, who died unexpectedly because he got a heart attack while doing very questionable things with some very questionable women. Anyway, after he died, his wealth was discovered. He didn't have time to hide his wealth, as it said, so his wealth is found in those countries. I wonder why in Africa we always look up to our colonial masters, yet they had come here to exploit us of our wealth. Our leaders, the people who should be the best of us, get up there and decide to sell our resources to the same people who came here to steal those resources for themselves. I wonder how that works. We should be more angry. Anyway, this is a short clip because the son of Ali Bongo is Omar Bongo. Omar Bongo became president after his father died. His father died in about 2009. Now, fun fact, when Ali Bongo died, there was no one with enough authority. There was no one who was who had the stature to announce his death. No one could say the president Ali Bongo died. So the guy who went to announce that he's dead, the guy who announced later that he died, had earlier on just announced that the president is okay and he had just seen him. Imagine, this guy was so, what's it called, powerful, all encompassing, all daring. No one could dare say that he's dead if there's even a chance of people putting a mimic in his place or a puppet in his place or someone who's a lookalike. The way people used to say President Buhari of Nigeria has been replaced. That way. Some things that happen in this Africa are very hilarious. Very, very hilarious. I wonder how the Western world sees us, because this has to be funny. So Omar Bongo became president because he's the son of the leader, and no one else had the authority or cojones, balls to, go and tell anyone that this person is dead, or go and challenge this guy who's coming into power, even though he was a 31. I don't know how old he was, I think 30. A 30-year-old young man getting into power, not knowing what the hell to do with it, born in... Anyway, the most endearing thing about Omar Bongo, the current, deposed president, former president we'll call him, I think, is that in about 2015, 2016, he suffered a stroke. He suffered a stroke and disappeared from public life. No one knew where he was. Again, no one had the authority, the wherewith, the brains, the mind to come and tell the nation, this guy, just a moment, this guy has, is medically unfit to run the country. So as a result, we as a parliament, or we as the judiciary, or we as the ministers are running the government from now until he's getting better. And then we shall set, a date that we're going to have an election or something. Imagine he had a stroke, paralyzed him. He was very, very bad off. He went, had some treatment, disappeared also. No one knew anything about him. People had rumors for months that he's dead. Then he sent a video. Imagine an oil-rich nation has been sent a video on social media telling them, hey, by the way, I am alive. He took a video that I'm alive and able and still in power and in command. Oh my God. The whole nation. Yani, watu milioni 3 hakuna hata mtu mmoja. Mtu mmoja ako tu mkubwa watu wote. They have to wait for this guy who is sick, who has suffered a stroke. A stroke is the brain sending bad waves everywhere. So it's like it affects part of your brain and your brain does not get better. Even now as he speaks, you can tell he's not 100%. Same way as the old man in Paul Biya in Cameroon. That guy is not Cameroon, sorry. Yes, it is Cameroon. That guy is too old, Bana. Too old. He's almost 100. He can't even control his farts in public. He does not know where he is at most times. He's becoming senile. But no one has the brains, the wherewith, the power to tell him that no, this is wrong. This is where we should make institutions strong. Even in this country. Oh, so sorry. I respect Omar Bongo, the president of Gabon, and sorry to the Gabonese people that I support you, because you support the military. I support you for supporting the military and supporting them because they're kicking out a dictator. Someone who thought that their country, the whole country is theirs, ruling over the whole place like a fiefdom. Nah. Also, there's a time Ali Bongo, the father of Omar Bongo, you have to know which Bongo this is, because nasi Bongo flavor wa Tanzania tafadhalini. Si Bongo flavor. I'm loving that the military woke. Anyway, the military woke up. Ali Bongo ran for presidency and won with 99.9% of the votes. 99.9. Hey, where? 99.5. 99.5. Yeah, 99.5% of the votes. Imagine. Just let that settle in. Yani, if 100 people voted, it's only, actually, it's a spoiled vote. One of it was a spoiled vote. If 200 people had voted, only one person had then voted for him. Tell me if that is not ludicrous. Crazy. As in, people have to be crazy for this man. Anyway, he died. His wealth, we don't know where it went. Omar Bongo was here. So in 2016, they had an election. The guys said, the opposition party said this election is wrong, it's off, blah, 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 blah. And the president was still like, no, I'll still go and I'll still take power, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, the military said, no, not again. Because now, he would have run, would have gotten to a point, he puts his son there, and his son takes over the presidency, and the country continues being a Bongo empire. So Omar Bongo sat in his villa under house arrest because, strong men, even though they have killed and maimed and robbed and impoverished people, still don't go to prison. They are put in villas and put, as a private prison. Even gangsters. The gangster from Medellin, Colombia, I won't mention the name, was once put in under house arrest, and he was running his empire of drug trafficking from that house, taking strippers and gang lords and entertaining them there. He had all manner of drugs to entertain and all manner of things to entertain with. He had access to everything, yet he was under arrest. So yeah, Omar Bongo inside his palace, inside his villa, under arrest from the military after the military coup, decided take a video and tell the world, please, my power has been taken away from me because these guys have taken power from me. What was given to me by my father, what was bequeathed me by my father, they have robbed me of this leadership, of this rulership, of this empire. I am wronged. I am aggrieved. So help me. Make noise. So we are making, oh my god. So I'm making noise on behalf of Omar Bongo because he said we make noise. So I'm making, oh my god. Anyway, acha tu niache kumchekelea. I won't laugh at him again. I am calm. This is the fourth coup that has happened in Africa. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, now Gabon. It's coming closer to Central Africa. And all these are French colonies, former French colonies, which we still say French colonies because the French never really left. They control their money, for heaven's sake. So there's an old saying that comes from Tanzania: mwenzako kinyolewa shako kitie maji. So if you see your neighbor getting shaved, start wetting your hair, because back then they didn't have the zzz, and white people, our hairs are hard. So if you're going to shave it, you have to wet it so that it can be softer. When it's softer, you can those are the logistics. Black people, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm happy today because at least a change is as good as a rest. The people of Gabon deserve a rest, deserve the wealth that they are supposed to have, that they were bequeathed by their God. A small country like that, with so much wealth like that, should be the richest country in this world. It should be like the Luxembourg of this world, of Switzerland. As in, it's a pity that the guys in rural parts of Gabon don't know what development is, let alone craving for it or demanding it. They don't know what it is. They do not. Gabon. Sorry, Omar Bongo. Anyway, cheers, man.